What's up? What's happening? You already know who it is and what it is. It's your boy Q Walker, aka Nephew Q, back with another installment of my conversations with Q. And today's guest that we have on the show, he's co-host of the show Spoken Minds, which you can go back and watch on the YouTube channel, or you can download the Beyond the Game app and watch it on your Amazon Fire Stick. But anyways, I got my guy, fellow light-skinned brother in the building, Ike Barron. What's good with you, Ike, baby?
What's up, my dog?
So, I've been trying to get Ike on here for the past 2 weeks, you know what I'm saying? And now we finally in this building to get with conversations with Q. So, before we get started, I'm going to just ask you one quick question. I can't speak on everybody else's relationship with you, but for me, you've always been solid 10 toes down. So the people who are watching and the people who are listening, who is Ike Barron? What are your principles? What are the things you stand on so people can know a little bit more about yourself?
Man, not talking about principles yet, but just me as a person, man. I'm just a fun, outgoing person.
You are.
I like to laugh. I like to joke.
Yeah.
But I'm a solid friend. If for real, I don't even call none of my friends. I call them brothers.
Right.
Like if you see me talk to everybody, I talk
brother.
to you. That's my brother, and I really feel like it. Like if I call you my brother, then you my brother.
That shit means something.
Yeah, that means something.
That shit means
and
something.
Like we all grown, we all got jobs, we all have kids and families and all that, but when it comes down to it, if anybody needs me, I'm there. And sometimes you have like financial stuff. I might not be able to help somebody financially all the time.
Right.
But I'm always there I got that ear. I'ma listen. I never judge.
Man.
Like it don't matter what you got going on. I will never judge any of my friends.
See, that's important because, and we're going to get to this a little bit later too, about in the black community, black men don't have other black men that they can talk to and feel like, okay, he's not gonna judge me, he's not gonna look at me any different. Hey, bro, this is what's going on, man. I don't know how to deal with this. And the fact that we lean on each other sometimes. I got other friends, dog. That is such a dope thing that we as black men can lean on each other and not feel like, oh, he's gonna look and think about me in a certain type of way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That shit's
Man,
dope.
I used to bottle everything in.
Yeah.
And would never talk about anything I had going on.
Mm-hmm.
But man, I've had some solid brothers over the years, man, who like I was just saying, don't judge.
It's hard to get to that point though where you can open up and trust somebody. And we growing up, we'll get to this later as well. Let me just phrase it. I didn't have a black man to show me that it's okay to confide in another black man. We so used to keeping everything all bottled up and everything. And for people watching, don't get it twisted. My father was around. I got a brother and all that, so don't think I ain't got no father, none shit like that. But I was never taught that it's okay to open up and talk about shit that's going on the inside. So like you said, we just bottled that shit up for 20, 30 years. We let that shit go finally and, open up to other men.
Hey, for real, another thing that I do, man, is because you was talking about black men in the black community, things that they don't do.
Mm-hmm.
We don't tell each other we love each other enough, man. I tell all my brothers, man, love you, bruh.
Yup.
Because we need to hear that.
We do.
Not just from a female, not just from our parents and loved ones. We need to hear it from each other, man. I love you, bruh.
I love you, bruh. Yeah,
it goes a long way.
It goes a long way, especially when you leaving your brother and be like, all right, bro, holla at you, love you, bro. Because you never know.
Yeah.
You never know. But anyways, man, let's talk about something that just happened recently for you. For the people who are watching, the people who are tuned in, you are newly, happily married. So congratulations to you on your nuptials and all of that. So talk to me a little bit, because I ain't got none of that shit. I'm gonna get to that point one day. But for right now, what's it like? Tell me what's the marriage life like for a young man, because we're still relatively young. So what's that life like for a young man like yourself getting married?
Well,
hold on. Was you nervous on the day of the wedding?
No, I really wasn't.
Okay.
But see, people that know me, they know I've been married before.
Okay.
But that marriage wasn't a good marriage.
Okay.
it was kind of rushed and it just wasn't like, to me, this one was
You took your time.
something that I knew deep down, this is what I want.
Okay. When
The
you say
first-
rush, does it mean like y'all got together, you had feelings, and it was like, okay, let's get married?
Man, I didn't even propose or anything.
Oh, damn.
I just came home and there was things being worked out.
Okay. You walked in and it was like, oh, well,
And
I guess
then-
we getting married then.
Then when I had her parents, my parents, man, you're not young anymore.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
So I went along with it, but it just wasn't good, man. And I left that relationship. We had a son together, but we split. Now we co-parenting, well, doing the best we can.
Yes, you can, yeah.
But then after that, I got in another relationship that was even worse. It was it was horrible. Man, I got to the point to where I was done. I was like, man, I'm just gonna be a smut.
You said,
The
damn
hell with a
relationship.
relationship, man. Like, it's no point when you give your all and you don't get that back. So I remember, man, no joke, I'm sitting in Buffalo Wild Wings with my boy Derek, D Money, and my boy Tim.
Okay.
And Derek's wife. This is before they got married.
Okay.
So we sitting in there, and I'm telling them, man, I'm like dead ass. I'm like, man, I'm not looking for no more love at all. And I was serious, man. Like, and I really was. I stopped looking. And then guess what happened?
Fell in your lap.
I stopped looking, and something came.
Ain't that crazy though? How when you're not looking for something, the shit falls out of nowhere. But when you're looking for it, you can't find it nowhere. And that's a metaphor for life. That's a metaphor for shit around the house that you're looking for. But that's dope. So how long were you guys talking until you felt like, you know what, she's the one? I think I want to do this again.
Man, it's just gonna be crazy because, like, I'm sitting at the crib one day, me and my boy Tim, we listening to music, drinking, just having a good time, and I had been noticing that this girl was loving my pictures and liking all my pictures and
that's
stuff.
short. Okay.
And I was like, man, I don't know who this is. So I asked my boy, I was like, man, you ever you know who this is? You ever seen her? And he was like, I don't know her personally, but I know of her. And so I'm looking through her pictures and stuff, and I was like, okay.
Did you start liking shit back?
So I'm like, okay. I was like, you know what? I tell my boy, if she loves one more picture, man,
jumping in the
jumping
inbox?
in that inbox. So what I did while we sitting in there, man, I took a picture, I posted it. Man, probably wasn't 3 minutes later.
Boom. Say no more.
So I get in the inbox, and at first, for real, no joke. Like I said, I was on some. I ain't trying to be in no relationship or nothing. So I jump in the inbox. I'm trying to smash. That's where you
at
I
mentally at that
didn't
point,
come at her in that way, but in my mind, that's what I'm thinking.
Got you.
So we talked a little bit for a few days, probably about a week, and then I ended up going to Thursday Night Live one night, and we were texting, and I told her that's where I was. She was like, "Oh, me and my friends are supposed to come down there." We had never met in person, so I was like, "Oh, well, let me know when you get down here." So she gets down there, and we meet, and we end up hanging out that night in there, down at Thursday Night Live. And when I left, I was like, man, I enjoyed her company. Like, she was real cool.
Like, we can kick it on.
Like, she was like, she was real cool. So I had bought some tickets to a so that's on a Thursday.
Right.
I had bought tickets to a comedy show for that Saturday.
Right.
I didn't have no date,
But you had an extra
but I
ticket,
had
though.
2 tickets.
Okay.
So, I bought 2 tickets. I was like, I'm going to find a date. I'm going to find somebody to go.
Right.
So I was like, I'm going to ask her. She was like, yeah. So we went on we went to the comedy show, and then we went out to eat afterwards and stuff. And we just hung out. Man, and we had a ball, man. Like, her personality matched mine perfect. Like, I like to joke, have fun, and laugh. She's the same way.
Yeah, I can tell.
She's goofy,
I
likes
can tell.
likes to laugh. So we just had a good time. We was just vibing well. So, man, for real, we started talking more after that. And one thing that we didn't do is we didn't jump into sex.
Waited.
Once, even though in my mind at first, that's what I was shooting for.
But the more you started hanging with her, you weren't even worried about that part of it.
I was-
It's like
yeah,
you
it was
wanted
like-
it, but it's like it ain't like high on the priority list.
It was like somebody that I can kick it with and have fun with, and So some weeks went by, and like I'm really vibing with her, and I'm like, man, I like this girl, man. So I pretty much was like, hey, I know I said I was never gonna do this again, but I want you.
Did you tell her just like that?
Yeah, I want you. Like I want you to be my woman. And and my boy Derek and Tim, I just told you we were sitting in B-dubs, and I'm telling them all this stuff. They don't judge. So even though I was just telling them I'm not looking for no relationship and all that, now they seeing me with this girl.
A couple weeks
but
later.
they seen me come from a dark place to happiness.
That's just dope.
And
That's
man,
just dope. What point in y'all relationship did you feel like, you know what I'm saying, I want to marry her? Because like you said, the first one, you walked in on the shit already being planned for you, and you're like, well, fuck it, I guess I go with it, even though your heart wasn't in it. Now you have a situation to where you really like this woman. So now at what point do you be like, did you become like, okay, I think I want to propose to her for real and do this shit again?
man, I can tell you, after our first year of being together, I knew. I mean, I knew before. I knew a man knows if that's the one.
Right.
A man knows. He knows quick.
Right.
If that's the one, it's just playing it out
That's
to make sure that you didn't get bamboozled or nothing.
you gotta let that shit play out a little bit.
After the first year, I was like, yeah, this is something I'm gonna end up doing. I'm gonna end up proposing and doing all that, because we don't argue like at all. Like we maybe had 2 or 3 disagreements, but we talk it out. Or if I could tell she's frustrated, I'll go sit in the other room, but we don't argue.
That's just key.
And that's something that I can't deal with in relationships. Nope. When it gets to the point to where it's a lot of arguing,
non-stop,
that's when I bounce.
Yep.
That's when I bounce out. I can't do it. I can't come home from work and be like this nonstop in my ear and
about
got
nothing.
something to say and
About
like just
nothing.
about every little bitty thing. Like I can't do that, and she's the same way. So, like I said, after a year, I already knew. But my boy Derek had proposed to his girl.
Right.
They had a marriage coming up towards the end of that year, and so I was like, I'm not gonna steal my brother's shine at all.
Let him
So
have that
what I
moment.
did was I waited months. His wedding came. His wedding was in November, like I think the 21st, I think is the day. Right around that time, I can't remember for sure. But while he was on his honeymoon, because he got bread like that. He took a 2-week honeymoon.
Shit, must be nice.
Yeah,
Goddamn.
I couldn't do
2
all
weeks,
that.
goddamn,
But while he was on his honeymoon during that second week, I just sent him a message and was like, hey, when you get back in town, I want you to go ring shopping with me.
Okay.
So, and we ended up going in December, sometime in December, looking for rings, me, him, and Tim. And when we get in there, I'm trying to figure out what am I going to get. I'm looking at like, what's my cap on what I can spend, but which one is going to be the one that says, that's it. So we sitting in there, man, and looking at these rings, and it came down to 2. And I think it was Tim that he picked up one, and he was like, man, he was like, I like both of them. We all three liked both. And Tim was like, man, we like both. This one's cheaper. That should be the one that you should just go ahead and get this one.
Yeah.
But I was like, but there's something about this ring right here that's saying that's the one.
Go with
so
your gut.
Yeah, so that's the one that I ended up getting, man. And then so once I got the ring, doing the right thing as a man, I called her father.
That's dope.
Asked him for his blessing.
What'd he say
the
on
right
phone?
way.
What'd he say?
Man, he was like, man, just you calling me and asking for my blessing instead of just proposing to my daughter means so much and shows me the kind of person you are.
Yep.
And he was like, you definitely have my blessing. You know, I got a hold of people. I got a hold of her best friends,
That's just dope.
her sisters,
That's
her
just
mother, and I started planning on how I'm gonna propose to her. So a lot of people don't know my birthday's in February. It's February 22nd.
Right.
My dad's is on Valentine's Day.
Okay.
My grandmother's is on the 16th.
Okay.
So, and my nephew's is on the 23rd.
A lot of February birthdays.
So every year, my mother usually has like a big dinner for everybody to come over, and we all celebrate our birthdays like that with the family.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna use this and make it work.
I seen the video.
So what I did was I rented this place out. It's like a clubhouse, like in Rockbridge. But
I don't even know where that's at, so it sounds expensive.
it's like out there, like towards Heartland and all that. So,
say no more.
So I rented this place out, and I told Drika, I was like, my mother's doing this birthday dinner. She already knows my mama does this every year. So I was like, but she rented this place out because of COVID. She wants to be able to spread everybody out and all that. Just making up some stuff.
Yeah.
So, you know, I pay for like a bunch of chicken, and I have a bunch of people bringing sides. I even had Drika bring sides, thinking that she's making sides for this birthday
But
dinner.
it's for her.
But she's actually, she was actually cooking for
Her own proposal.
her proposal.
Yeah.
So I tell everybody get there at a certain time, let them know what time we're gonna get there. So when we walk in, we walk through the front door, and everybody's in this other room. So when we come in and you turn, she could see like some of my family sitting in there. So, you know, normal.
She wasn't suspecting anything. Yeah.
So when we walk in, she's standing in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
But when she walks in and she sees some of her friends,
She's like, hold on, what the hell they doing here?
and everybody got their phones out, and then she turns and she sees her dad and her mom and all.
Hold
family.
on, wait a
So
minute,
she's
wait
like
a minute.
freaking out, like, what in the world is going on? So she turns to look at me, and when she turned, I was down on my knee.
This guy.
Yeah,
This
so-
guy. Was you nervous doing the proposal?
No, I wasn't at all, because I knew what I wanted.
Oh, okay, because I mean, I'd be scared shitless. Not necessarily the marriage part, just proposing. Like, man, it would just freak me out. I'm gonna do it one day. I don't know how. That shit was dope how you did it. Another thing we share in common, all of y'all birthdays are in February, so we had a similar thing in my family, but ours is October. My birthday's in October. My brother's birthday's in October. I have 2 aunts' birthdays in October, and I have a nephew that's in October. So sometimes my family, we just all get together and throw everybody a birthday bash at the same time. So I know exactly what you mean by doing that, man.
Yeah,
But,
man. But you know, fast forward, we started looking venues and getting all the things done. But I didn't want her to be stressed out because
It's a lot for a woman, yeah.
it stresses a woman out because it's her day.
Right.
I mean, it's our day, but it's her day.
It's y'all's day, but it's meant for her.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
so in my eyes, this is her day.
Right.
So I want her to feel special. So what I told her was, I'll pretty much take care of everything.
Which is that's
like
not
all the
normal for a dude.
planning, the
Caterer yeah.
like she had her input, but I was handling all the business.
Okay.
And I wanted to do it big. My first marriage, we just went to the courthouse and got married.
So you said this time we're gonna do it all.
I
We're gonna do the
wanted
wedding,
her
the reception.
I wanted her to feel special.
Did she cry on the wedding?
Man, listen.
Did you cry?
Listen, nah. So check this out. She already knew she was gonna cry.
Right.
I'm not a big crier. So, she was like, "You better cry. That'd be messed up if you don't cry." I was like, "Man, what I'm gonna end up having to do? I'm gonna have to think of something sad on my wedding day just to cry." But man, I tell you this, I'm standing up there, and what started to get me was, my son was the ring bearer, so when he come walking through in his suit and stuff. Man, I started to tear up some, man.
Boy.
Had one come down the face just seeing my son,
Yeah.
And then when she came through, it started to get me. It started to get me, but man, so she's coming through. It's starting to get me. I turn like this, and I see our 3 oldest daughters sitting there, boo-hooing.
You lost it.
I lost it. I'm talking about I'm talking about one of them ones where the knot in your throat, standing there, tears just rolling, snot.
Man,
I was like, not me, not
Got him.
I'm not that guy.
Got him. Got him. Had him up there crying. When she got to you, was she crying when she got up there?
Nah, man. You know why she wasn't crying?
Because you was crying.
She didn't want to mess her makeup up.
I
I said, we went through all of this without me crying, and then you the one that cried.
Didn't even cry because you didn't want to mess up. But
man,
I'm over here.
I cried so hard that the pastor looked at me and he started crying just because he seen how emotional I was.
Oh, that's crazy. Y'all had this conversation between y'all two. She's like, you better cry. You get there. She coming down the thing. Well, your son coming down, you start to feel the emotions. You look over, you see y'all daughters, you losing it. She coming down, she straight gangster. All right, let's do this. Meanwhile, you over here got snot bubbles and everything.
But she wouldn't look at me.
Because she knew she was going to.
Because if she looked at me, then she was going to cry.
Yeah,
and she didn't want to mess her makeup
she
up. So,
hey, man.
But yeah, she was beautiful, man.
That's dope, man. Like I said, shout out to y'all. More life, more blessings on y'all marriage. I hope everything works out, continues to work out. But switching topics a little bit, I want to talk about something that's kind of taboo in the black community a little bit, and that's sex addiction. In our communities, sex addiction doesn't get talked about like drug, alcohol, so forth and so on, but the shit's real. So a lot of people look at it as, are you a nympho? Are you just a freak? Are you just not knowing that person just has a craving for sex? You know what I'm saying? That's just like, alcoholic has, addicted to alcohol. A drug addict is addicted to drugs. It is what it is, man. What's your thoughts on sexual addiction in the black community?
Man, it's real. And it's probably tearing the community up more than drugs and alcohol.
Damn.
In my opinion.
Okay.
That's why you see so many blended families and, one-parent households and stuff, because most of the time people are splitting up because of infidelity.
Okay.
But for real, a lot of that stuff stems from things that's happened in people's past.
Right.
Like it can be from being molested as a kid. It can come from being introduced to pornography at an early age. It can come to having sex at an early age. And so what ends up happening, man, is you get them soul ties and you get so used to certain things. Like for me, all 3 of the things I just named was things that happened in my childhood.
Okay.
But So sex was something that, like I said, that I was doing at an early age. And like when I say early age, like around fifth or sixth grade.
I was going to ask you that.
Like, or like around that time. But it was something that, like, now it was like, at that, my mind was young, and being introduced to that stuff, it was like, now I was feeding myself. It's like I wanted it. And then the pornography stuff, watching all this porn and stuff at an early age, certain things like one woman wouldn't be enough.
So you go to watching threesomes.
And I'm saying when I got to, like, when it come to sex.
Okay, got you.
One sexual partner wasn't enough because it would get old or it would get boring. Mm-hmm. And then so it was like, now I want something new. I need something new. Even as a teenager or in my early 20s, and you know, I might have been in a relationship and loved somebody and actually really loved them. But my sexual addiction was tearing me apart to where I couldn't be faithful to this person.
Because of that.
Because I had a problem. And I didn't know that I had a problem. It was just me being me.
But see, that goes with addiction. An alcoholic doesn't know he's an alcoholic. He thinks he's just having a drink. A drug addict doesn't think, oh man, I'm just shooting. I can control this. You know what I'm saying? So you saying that goes in line with, I don't think I have an addiction. I just like having sex. But go ahead though.
Yeah. So, man, it comes to a point to where, like, you gotta find out what your problem is and what caused you to be this way. You gotta find that root cause. I tell every black man that I meet, all my brothers, I tell everybody, man, go to therapy.
I was about to ask you about that too.
Like, go to counseling. Sit on that couch and talk. Like if you've never been, you just think, man, it's just a waste of time, man. I could talk to my friends or talk to somebody else about that and get. It's not the same.
Not the same.
Like, when you go in and you talk, like these people are certified. They have degrees in this stuff. So when you're speaking, they can start figuring out root causes and triggers and different things that'll get you. I need to get back into counseling. Just to go, just to be going, just because it's good for you. It's good for everybody. And so I tell people, man, go to counseling, find out the root causes of problems that you have. And it ain't even got to be just sexual addiction. It could be anything. Like when people hear me talk about my daddy, he's not my biological.
Okay.
But he's been with my mama since I was like 2 years old.
I understand.
That's my daddy.
Yeah.
He was 18 years old, came into a household with a woman that had 2 kids, and raised us as his own. That's my daddy.
Right.
My biological wasn't around or none of that. But what I found out as an adult by going through counseling and all that is, even though I have a daddy, the not knowing the biological was bothering me. And I didn't even know that it was bothering me, but then I felt that it was bothering me. Like, I didn't want to get to know him as have a relationship
like
with
son,
him and none of that.
Yeah.
I just wanted to know who he was.
Got you.
Like, so if I see him, I know that's him right there.
Got you. I got you.
I don't want to know you.
I just want to know who he is.
I just want to know who you are. And the most important thing to me was, for wanting to know, really wasn't about him. It was, I want to know my family.
Got you.
Because I didn't know that side of my family at all. Like, and that's bad, like when, especially in a town like Lexington, and you don't know one whole side of your family. And then you out here and you wilding out and you doing all of that. I messed with a cousin. Like, did something with a cousin and didn't know.
Didn't know.
And
it wasn't your fault. It wasn't her fault.
and we did not know.
Didn't know.
So I ended up meeting a lot of my family, still meeting them. Like there's certain people I knew growing up because my mother might have knew their mother or something. And so, and she would tell me, that's your cousin, or, like me and Pete.
Yeah, right.
So we knew at an early age we was cousins.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you how we was cousins because I didn't know that side of the family, but I knew that was my cousin.
Right.
But then growing up and I started to, get to that side of the family, I started finding out, man, I got a lot of family members that I didn't know.
Yeah.
I'm at a family reunion and some guys that grew up on my block.
Hold on, what you doing here?
Come walking down and I'm like, hey, wait a second. And they looking at me and we like, man, we've been family this long.
time.
Like we've been family this whole time and didn't know.
Didn't even know it.
So, man, that was the main reason I wanted to find out who he was, find out who my family was, and now I got a great relationship with a lot of my family.
That's dope though. The fact that do you want to have a? I don't know if is he still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive.
Okay.
No, I don't
You don't want to have a relationship with him.
No.
Have you ever had words outside of you wanting to know more about his side of the family?
Man, I can tell you the only words we had. See, when I was like 20 years old, something like that, I found out that I had a little brother and a little sister. I didn't know him.
Right.
At all.
Right.
I'm like, man, I got another little brother and sister out here.
Let me meet him.
So not through him.
Yeah.
I found that. So my brother Josh took me to meet him, and because now we kind of go back a little bit. Now my brother Josh, we knew we was brothers at an early age, but we didn't really know each other. Like if we seen each other out somewhere as kids, we'd be like, man, that's my brother, and he'd be like, that's my brother. But we didn't.
Y'all didn't have a brother relationship.
We did because we never was hanging out. Was never really around each other.
I got you.
So say around 18 years old, we only a month and a half apart. So about 18 years old, we started hanging out. Now we grown now, so we can get our own bond.
Yeah.
So, and that's when I found out I had a little brother and sister. So he took me around and I met them, and they was young. But my biological was still in and out of their life. Like he was still kind of around.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so, I'm going around them all the time, and he was promising them stuff. I'm gonna bring y'all a bike on Friday, and then on Friday he'd disappear, and they wouldn't see him for a month or two, and then he popped back up. So man, they was crying on like running to me and crying, talking about why does my daddy not love us? And man, I was so mad that the next time I seen, like I had only seen him like maybe 2 times before that in my life. Next time I seen him, I just happened to be over my little brother and sister's house, and he comes walking in. Man, I lost it, man. I grabbed him by his shirt like this, and I had him up off the ground.
Okay, I thought you was going to say
on the wall.
Okay.
And I just told him, I was like, man, I said, me, Josh, and Jeremy, we have daddies. See, me and Jeremy, my daddy took care of us. Josh had a man in his life that raised him and took care of him. I said, we have daddies. This is your chance to make it right with them.
Forget us, we grown.
Yeah.
Dude.
But I told him, I said, man, listen, if they ever come crying to me again,
You gonna see me?
nah, you're gonna see me.
You gonna see me?
And I was dead serious, bruh. Like I don't need to know you.
Yeah.
They need you. You still got a chance with them.
That's why I said they young, so you can be a part of their life. We grown and got our own families, bro.
He ain't listen.
We good.
He ruined the relationship with them too.
So he still didn't even do. So even being jacked up on the wall, feet dangling and everything, still didn't do right. So it may be a little bit too personal if it is. I understand. Was he struggling with any addictions himself to why he couldn't get on the right path?
Yeah, he's a real bad alcoholic.
Okay.
But he's just a selfish man too.
Okay. So it wasn't his addiction that prevented him. It was just his selfishness.
It was both.
It was both. Okay,
It was
combination of both. Okay. All right. So, man, you talked about it a little bit, blended families, right? you know, your wife has a daughter, right?
She has 3 daughters.
Okay, she has 3 daughters, and you have kids of your own.
I have 2 daughters and a son. We the Brady bunch.
Man, that's a lot. Well, I'm gonna be the same way with my kids. So I ain't only know why I'm tripping. But anyways, speak to me about how y'all did the whole blended family things, because that can be difficult. Also, speak a little bit on how you feel about, you have a daughter that lives in a whole nother state, and how that different dynamic is, and how long y'all been, you know, co-parenting that situation. So speak about the blended families, and then speak about your daughter being in another state.
Yeah, so like I was just telling you, I had a man come into my life at 2 years old. Mm-hmm. So I know that a man in the household can be a father.
Right.
Now, her kids' fathers are in their life.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't overstep.
Right.
Now I'm still the man of this household.
But you don't. But you being a father yourself, you know what boundaries not to cross and what to cross.
Oh yeah,
Right.
like I'm not gonna whoop her kids.
Yeah, got you.
Because their daddies are around.
Yes, that's their
I
responsibility.
don't discipline her kids.
Right.
Because I mean, don't let me say her kids, our kids, because they're our kids. But just so people understand, that's why I said her kids. But I don't discipline them because, like I said, their daddies are in their life. So I'm not overstepping, because I wouldn't want anybody to overstep for me. Mm-hmm. Now, if like my kids have men around, you're gonna respect that man. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But I want him to respect me, and never bathe my child or
nothing
whoop my child. Yeah, something. If my son disrespects his stepdaddy, tell me.
Know. Yeah,
I'm handling.
Let me know.
You don't do that. I'm gonna handle my son. Mm-hmm. You don't disrespect that man. You don't do that.
Or the mother of your child tell me.
Or she can handle it.
Oh, she can handle it. Yeah, she's right there in the house. She can handle it.
Yeah. But I mean, for us it was good. Like I have a 16-year-old.
Ooh.
Yeah. She's starting to calm down some. Ooh. But yeah.
I'll be there soon. I got a 13-year-old, so I'll be there soon. I'm right behind you.
Yeah. So I also have a 12-year-old.
Okay. Yeah.
And then she has a 13-year-old. So, but they all click. So it was great because they all can hang with each other and all that. Well, then she has 2 younger daughters, and then I have a son that's younger, and they all click.
So it all works out. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, that made it a lot easier. I love it, man. Like.
Did you ever have a fear of jealousy amongst the kids? Like your kids feeling like you're spending too much time with her kids. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily when y'all living together, but when you are together but you're living in separate places, obviously you're gonna be with her kids or around her kids more because they're with her. So did you ever have a situation where your kids maybe felt like, man, Daddy's spending so much time over her. He don't never get us that much. No, because I make sure they know, and they know the circumstances. Okay.
If they with their mother, they obviously can't be with me.
Right.
And then we were talking about my youngest daughter. She lives in Independence, Missouri, which is like 10-15 minutes from Kansas City. So when I tell people, I say my daughter lives in Kansas City because they know what that is. But
hold on. Before we get on that, 2 things about the blended family real quick. So the fathers of her kids, did y'all have a conversation, or was it just a mutual, y'all already know what's up? And on the flip side, for your kids, did the stepdads come to you and have a conversation about the kids?
Not really. Her oldest daughter, her dad, me and him, we talk.
Okay.
And not just talk, like we laugh and joke and shit, like we cool.
We cool, okay.
Now the father of her youngest 2, we've never had a conversation.
Okay.
Ever.
Have y'all even met each other?
I think we went to school together, but he's like a little bit younger, I think.
Okay.
So I don't really know him like that. And like we see each other in passing, but we've never talked to each other.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's. I just say, look, if he wants to talk to me, he will. But
I get you. I pick up what you put.
I don't know how he feels, so I don't.
You don't try to force the issue. If he won't talk, if he won't chop it up like the other, cool, I'm good with that. But if you don't, I'm good with that too.
Yeah, but I don't have no issues with them at all.
Right. Okay. What about on the flip side, your kids being with another man? Did he come to you about any conversations or anything?
Yeah.
Or did y'all have any conversations?
So my son, his mother got married to a man, and he came to me like real quick when they first started dating.
Okay.
He came to me as a man. Man, me and him so cool. That's one of my brothers, man. But it was good to get to know him and know what kind of person he is, to know who was going to be around my son.
Which is key. That's very important.
Yeah, plus he helps me out, man. He keeps my baby mama off my back.
Which is very so much important.
I tell him all the time they can't never get divorced.
Man,
I will pay for their marriage counseling.
We will work this shit out. Me, you, and her will sit there and we will work this out, bro.
Man, we will
work this out. How can we help y'all relationship, man?
Yeah.
So back to the daughter living in another state, because again, this is something that we both share. My daughter lives in Columbus, which is 3 hours. It's not as far as where your daughter's at, but still at the same time, it affects me. You know, people, when she's here, people are like, oh, well, just enjoy the time that she's here, though. And it's like, y'all don't understand. When she leaves, like, it is tough to get back to reality.
It's like seeing her go all over again, like that first time it get hit every single time. And I don't know how to cope with that.
I don't either. I don't know how long yours has been going on. Mine's is about 3 years now since she's moved. And I know people are like, well, she's just right up the road. But I'm like, bro, I can't just go get my daughter from her mom's on a Tuesday. You know, I can't just pop up in school like I used to and bring cupcakes. You know what I'm saying? I can't just, be like, hey, dad's gonna get you from off the bus. Like, that shit fucks with a dude who's used to doing this and then all of a sudden can't do none of it. And you gotta see your daughter, weeks, months, you know what I'm saying? And
then when COVID hit, man, it made it
gosh,
even longer.
Bro. Oh my gosh, bro.
Man, my daughter's been gone. If it ain't 8 years yet, it's going on 8 years. I had the opportunity to fight it.
Mm-hmm.
But my daughter's mother came to me. We met at a restaurant. We sat down and just talked. And she had an opportunity to better her life with jobs and stuff. Like, she was like, I can go here and I can get this in my life. And I didn't want to hold her back, because my daughter lives in that household.
It's not about her, it's about your daughter at that point.
My daughter lives in that household. I don't want to see my daughter stay here and they don't have the same opportunities financially and all that if they go. So me and her sat down, we worked out an agreement. You know, our agreement was, she bring my daughter one weekend every month.
Okay.
I get her for spring break,
winter break,
and I get her for at least 1 month of the summer.
That's fair.
And it was great. I mean, it was working. I mean, it was hard, but it was working, because she was holding up to her part of the deal, and it was working. But now that my daughter's older, all her friends are there.
That's what I'm scared of.
My daughter's, if y'all have never seen my daughter dance, she's a big time dancer. She's like on the dance team and in all kinds of dance competitions. So her time is so tied up now that it makes it hard for me to get her.
It's rough, boy.
Like, my daughter came down from my wedding, but I can tell something was wrong with her. And when I talked to her about it, her dance team was in a parade on TV performing, and she was hurt because she wanted to be there, but
She didn't want to.
she wanted to be here also. So it makes it tough. Now that she's getting older, she don't really want to come like that because all her friends are there. Her life is there. And that makes it hard on me. I try not to let it show or let it get to me too much, but inside it tears me up that she don't want to be here. She don't want to come see daddy.
And how old is she?
12.
My daughter, she's just turned 13 2 weeks ago, and that's one of my biggest fears that I know it's coming, is that she's gonna get to a point where she's gonna have her own life, and she, hey, nah, Dad, I'm gonna go. I got this going on, and it's gonna tear me up because I can't be like, oh, that's fine. I'll see you Tuesday. I'll see you Monday. Can't do that shit, and like I'm gonna keep it a buck. Whenever she leaves, and people could testify to this, whenever she leaves that evening, bro, I'm boohooing, bro, because I miss my daughter that much, because you go from being around a child consistently to you don't see them for days, weeks. Best you can do is FaceTime, text messages, which that's cool. Don't get me wrong.
My daughter she don't even answer my texts and FaceTimes no more.
I'm getting to that point too, where I text her, I don't hear back from her for like 2 days, and she be like, "Oh, Dad, I didn't." I'm like, "Well, damn, are you texting that many people or you didn't?" But
mine sees it.
She sees it too, but she just hits me with the excuse.
She's hanging out. She's hanging out with all her friends. She ain't got time.
And see, that's the thing, and my daughter, she does cheer now, so she got her cheer friends and all of that. So I know it's coming that she's not gonna want to, like, I get my daughter for a month in the summer as well. I'm dreading already of, okay, you coming there? Nah, Dad, I think I'm gonna just stay up here and that's gonna kill me. But you have to let her live her life. You can't force her. Nah, you gonna come down here because then she's gonna resent me. She's not gonna enjoy herself down here. Like, so I'm already dreading shit, bro.
I get my daughter in July. I think she already has 2 competitions in July set up. So it's not gonna be I get her in July. We have to work. We'll work something out. Maybe I'll get her for a week or something. Who knows, man? But we gonna see,
man. Cause I'm just talking about this is making me emotional because, like I said, when she leaves, bro, like we meet in Cincinnati because it's the halfway point for both of us. So once I drop her off, it's like majority of the time her brother, he likes to ride because he loves his sister and he wants to see her off and shit too. But once all the kids are gone, because I don't want my kids to see me crying. So once all of the kids are gone, bro, I go in the bathroom, turn on that shower, get in the shower, and just let that shit go, bro. And just let that, because that shit hurts. That shit hurts, man. And so for people who are watching, yeah, there are fathers out there who love their kids that much that when they're not around their kids, like, it truly does affect us in that manner. It's not just moms. It's like, dads is that way as well. Mm-hmm. Speaking of the whole child thing, man, and I know this conversation we about to have is going to be very controversial. Let me know your thoughts on child support. Before I let you cook on this, for me personally, I'm on child support for 3 of my kids. I personally don't have an issue with child support. My issue comes from the mothers who try to get everything from the man. Like, if the guy's not going to be there, he's got to supplement the income in some way, whether it be daycare, groceries, whatever. I'm cool with that. I just have an issue with the moms who be like, nope, I need every little bit you got, maximum amount, and we gonna backdate it. I want the riverages too. That's the shit that bothers me. But what's your thoughts on child support?
Man, I could say, like, I pay child support on all 3, and my number's big. It's a big number.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
It's a big number.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So
I'll put it to you like this, bro. My oldest son is 9, so I'm about 8 years in it. I'm totaling. I don't know what yours is. Total from all the years, I'm over $100,000.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely past all that.
You passed $100,000?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But man, so I used to be like, I used to hate the whole child support thing.
Yep.
Really because I was paying this big number and I wasn't making a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, how do I survive?
How do you live?
How do I survive? So it's like you either have to have multiple jobs or you got to work a lot of overtime just to survive, because you got to think insurance is coming out, taxes is coming out, the child support comes out, then you got all your bills, and it's like you never have anything left to do anything.
You ain't got shit for yourself.
Not just for yourself. Now it's your child's birthday coming up. How do you
Save up money to get
how
something.
do you get gifts and stuff? How do
Boy, you speaking to the choir,
and then
boy.
like, then the mother might hit you and say, are you gonna pay half on this
on this birthday
on
party?
this birthday party? And you and I mean I did it to myself, because people that know me know this, but if you don't, like, I have 3 kids and I have 3 kids with 3 different women.
Mm-hmm.
I did it to myself.
Yep.
I put myself in that situation.
Yep. Got to hold some kind of accountability.
So all this that happens, I mean, it's
Gotta
on
deal with
me.
it.
Like, I just got to deal
Gotta
with it and
deal
make
with
it
it.
work. But so what I ended up having to do is I had to start working a whole lot of overtime. There for a while, like, I was working 12 hours, 7 days a week. Well, not just 12. Let me take it back. I was working up to 14 hours, 12 to 14 hours, 7 days a week.
Just to have something.
Just to be able to have something. So then, like, if my family's having they going on a family vacation and my kids are going with my parents and my brothers and all that, I can't afford to take a week off.
Nope.
At that time I couldn't afford to take a week off.
Barely afford to have your kids go with them.
Because if I take a whole week off, I don't know how I'm gonna pay rent and pay, Man, I drove a bucket for years, bruh.
Boy.
Because I had all this other stuff I had to take care of. Now I'm finally getting to a point to where I'm comfortable. Mm-hmm. I got rid of the bucket. I got me another car.
Yeah.
I've been able to afford to buy my girl a engagement ring,
Mm-hmm.
have a big wedding, and go on a honeymoon and do different things. And like, my oldest daughter, for a long time, she used to think, why doesn't my daddy ever like do these certain things for me, like that she sees like my niece is getting from my brothers. Mm-hmm. And it was like, so I had to sit down, like, really have a heart to heart with her and tell her, like, like, don't think that I'm not doing anything for you, because I pay your mother this to help pay the bills for you in that household. I was like, I'm helping taking care of you. You just don't see the things that I'm doing.
Right.
But I am doing it. But now I'm to a point to where I can financially, where I can do more things for my kids in that way. Like, I get my kids.
Of course.
It's my youngest daughter. It's hard for me to because she's in 9 hours away.
Got you.
My son, I have joint custody of my son because I was married to his mother. So when we went through our divorce, I got joint custody.
Okay.
So I have him half the time.
Okay.
Now my oldest daughter, like I said, she's 16. It's hard for me to get her during the week because I have to be at work at 5 a.m. and she has to go to school.
Right.
And so I can't take her to school and get to work on time. So I don't really get to get her during the week anymore, but she comes over at least every other weekend. That's my buddy. She went through a little stage where she didn't want to come around me. She
scared of that too.
Man, that's a little girls. My youngest daughter, she's going through it now. Just attitude, don't like anybody, hates the world. But my oldest daughter now, she done came back around. Now it's the I love you, Daddy, and all the hugs and all that. Like, and I'm loving that. Now I know my youngest daughter, she gonna turn it around.
You've already been through it once, so you know what I'm saying. You already know how it's gonna be and everything like
then
that.
My son's my son, man. He's a trip.
Boy, ain't your sons like just the coolest, bro?
Ah, man.
I be watching my son sometimes. Boy, I be like, man, he don't even know how cool he is, bro. But
my son's a crybaby.
Is it?
Yeah,
my youngest son is.
I want
to punch
kick
him in
him,
his chest.
kick him in his back or something. Man up.
I'll be telling him all the time, what the hell are you crying for, bro? Like, what are you crying? And for people who are watching, don't hit me with the, that's just masculinity, blah, blah. Look, if it's something serious and he's crying, okay, fine. But, bro, because we ain't got no fucking ketchup, you crying, nigga? Like,
boy, it sounds just like my son,
like,
boy.
what the fuck you crying for, bro? Like, your brother took one of your fries, so you crying now? Like, come on, son. Now, come on. We gotta do better than this.
Damn, my daughters didn't cry like he cried.
Bruh.
That boy be crying.
And
that's my guy though.
I be trying to have patience with him. I be trying to have patience with him. Like, Q, don't be. He's not like that. Just. But boy, yeah. Me and his mama, we both know it and realize it. Like, yeah, he's just a crybaby. It is what it is. But back to what you were talking about as far as the child support and not being able to miss a week. Bruh, this was two years ago. I had bronchitis and had to miss a week of work, right? Got my check the next week. My check was $72 after everything. And I'm looking at, I got to get my kids for, growth. And then luckily I have, friends who chipped in, helped me get money, whatever. But I'm like, bruh, how the fuck am I going to feed my kids on $72? And not only just that, after they leave for the weekend, I got to figure out, okay, how am I going to get back and forth to work for the next 2 weeks and feed my own damn self on what's left of this money? Like, it's rough, bro.
Then you look at so say you wanted to try to go get food stamps or something like that. You can't get it because you make this much money. They don't go by after all this child support comes out and all that, what you bring at home.
Nope.
You get denied. You don't get no assistance.
Nope. So
you can't get any assistance
at all.
So if someone doesn't have a really good job and their job is just paying okay money, after all that stuff comes out, you're struggling.
You tapped out, bro. You ain't got nothing else to give.
Yeah, you're struggling. You said you missed a week of work. I ruptured my Achilles and missed 3.5 months. And then, not only did I miss 3.5 months and wasn't getting paid at all, is now I'm behind 3.5. I was behind 3.5 months in child support. My job, they were still paying my insurance, so I had to pay all of that back. So when I got back to work, I wasn't getting any checks.
And you supposed to somehow, some way, find a way to make that shit work.
Make it work.
And and again, this ain't bashing moms or nothing like that, but it's kind of fucked up sometimes that moms need help. I get that. When the kids are with the moms, they need help financially and physically, right? But it's almost like, okay, when we have them, figure it out. They with you, figure it out. But it's like, okay, you got help, which you need help. I get that. But then when they with the dad, it's like, well, the mom's done. You figure it out. They with you now. And it's like, well, damn, we don't need help when we got them too. Like, is the child still not yours when I have them? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, man. I had times where I would pick my son up and I'd just pick him up, even as a little one, with no diapers, with no formula, nothing. With no nothing. It's like okay, like I know supply for my home.
Yeah.
But ain't that what I'm paying for?
Like, can you send me with something? Like, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, at least a couple outfits.
You feel me? Like, let me.
Like I'm already struggling.
You feel me? Like, help me help you, fam. You know what I'm saying?
But like I said, a lot of us do it to ourselves.
Yeah.
And it goes back to what we was talking about earlier. It's that sexual addiction that's tearing our community apart. Not just our community, it's all over. Yeah. It's every race. It's genders. Like, it ain't just men, it's women also.
Yeah,
women go through the same thing, and then they're out here and they sleeping around with everybody, and it tears everything apart. Like, you can't be in a full loving relationship because this stuff happens. And it's hard, man. Like, it's hard.
Is there anything that you do and to like help yourself with battling it? And I know you have a very loving wife, and you know she's everything for you and to you. But for you personally, is there things that you do to like make sure you don't go down that path again?
Hey, it's a everyday. I don't want it to sound like,
but
like I'm getting ready to go out here. But I don't want people to take it wrong. It sound like I'm ready to go out here and I'm ready to do this and do that. But it's an everyday struggle. Just like a drug addict who is in recovery. It's one day at a time. Even if they haven't been on drugs or alcohol for 20 years, they still say it's one day at a time. Mm-hmm. So it's the same way. It's one day at a time. And I found that just getting that reassurance from her helps me.
Okay. And the reason why I asked that, just in case you might be helping another couple right now and not even knowing it by telling your story, and it might be like, okay, maybe I need to give my man reassurance more. For him, okay, maybe I do need to go to therapy or counseling to talk about why I am this way. You know what I'm saying? But last topic before we get on up out of here, man, is you're biracial, right?
Yes, sir.
You grew up out east, which is, I guess, one of the rougher neighborhoods in Lexington, right? 400 block?
400 block.
400 block. What was it like for you being a biracial child in a predominantly black neighborhood growing up? Did you get teased? Did you get picked on? We get picked on already because we light skinned, but
I would say, I was born in 1980.
Okay.
So in the 80s, like when I was in elementary school and stuff, I say there was probably maybe 5 or 6 biracial kids in my elementary school. We had a few white kids, but it was more black kids than anything.
Right.
It was it was rough a little bit.
When you say rough, what do you mean by?
Like some teasing and stuff, you know, like, it wasn't that bad. And then when it got into the 90s, I remember my first day of high school. I think it was one of my first days of high school. It was like first week or something. I was on the bus, the East End bus, going to Lafayette, and a kid started calling me some names, you know, about being biracial and all that. And I ended up busting his ass.
That was great. I knew a fighting story was coming.
Yeah, I ended up busting his ass for real, but I got to the point to where I stopped letting that stuff bother me, man. I look at it like this, for real. I'm living the best of both worlds.
Right.
The best of both worlds. I get to see it all from both sides. I get to see, man, people don't realize that there's so many similarities, man, in a black family and a white family. And there's a lot of differences also.
Right.
But there's similarities, they just done in different ways. But man, I can tell you this, man, if you come to one of my family functions, you liable to see anything. My brother might be standing there with a Malcolm X shirt on and a kufi, talking to my uncle who's gonna have an American flag bandana with an eagle on his shirt and his long hippie hair, and they just standing over there talking. And if you didn't know, you would walk up and be like, man, what the fuck?
Right.
Like, what in the world is that? Or you might see a cousin of mine that has gold teeth talking to another cousin that has his fingernails painted black.
Right. That's just dope, though.
And it's like, man, like, if people sit back and they look at my family like, I don't know, what in the world?
You say you don't know what the hell to think of it, because you got two different dynamics and two different ends of the spectrum. It's like, damn,
I got an American flag and an Eagle shirt. He's talking to somebody right now with braids. Like, what the hell is the conversation?
But I tell you what it taught me more than anything is how to deal with the different races.
At an early age, you
Like,
learned that.
yeah, like when I'm around black folk, I know how I can interact,
Right.
and I can interact with them. I know, how to converse with them. I can kind of figure out what.
You can take the temperature of the room.
Yeah, like, and the same thing when I'm around white people. They might look at me because most people, if you look at me, you might not. You might think I'm biracial, but a lot of people think I'm just a light-skinned black man.
Right. Because I thought you was until
Now,
you told me.
if you see my brothers Jeremy and Marcus, they look biracial.
Right.
But people look at me and they think I'm just black. But then, I could tell you a bunch of stuff. Listen to this story. I remember going to Jesse Clark Middle School.
Okay.
Had a home ec class,
Mm-hmm.
and we was bad as hell in that class.
You went to Jesse Clark, I believe it.
Yeah, we was bad as hell. It was a bunch of us from
I
out
believe it.
east.
I believe it.
We all in the clapboard. We acting up. Well, my mother comes to have a meeting with the teacher about me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she's standing outside the class. My mother is. We in there. We acting a fool. When we leave, my mother comes in. The teacher doesn't know who my mother is.
Because she doesn't know that you're biracial, so she
Yeah,
just
so
see
she
a
doesn't-
white woman coming in.
And this teacher told my mama, I wish they would stop busing these inner city kids out here. And my mother hit her with, how you doing? I'm Isaiah's mother.
Teacher didn't know what to do.
Didn't know what to do. Well, I used to, that's where I seen it. But I didn't see it more of in our neighborhood of certain things. I seen it with adults. Especially in school and stuff. I was a math guy in school.
Okay, so you good with numbers.
Oh yeah, when I was at Lafayette, I took advanced calculus and
That's just dope.
I did all of those things.
Numbers make sense to you.
Yeah, it was my thing.
Yeah.
So I remember going to my calculus class first day of school. I walk up, I'm looking at the room number, and white man standing there, a teacher. He looked at me and said, I know you not in this class. I was like, yeah, this is it. Man, I went in. I was the only person of color, and I was the only male. So it was me and 20-something white girls. I sat in the very back of the class. Teacher used to pick on me all the time, man. Every time he asked a question, he'd point to get the answer, to ask me if I knew the answer. Math was my thing.
So you
It
had
got to the point to where I just started yelling the answers out before he can even ask me.
asshole.
Oh, he was so mad. He was so mad. But
see, that just comes with it, people perpetrating the stereotype of, well, you black, so I know this calculus class ain't for you. You get in there, so not only do you get in there, you get to a point where, yeah, that's x equals 14. Yeah, so he's like, well, damn, man, I can't even pick on him no more because now he's yelling at the answer. So now, Cindy, what's the answer to this now? You know what I'm saying? So now he done switched it up. He can't even ask you no more because he already know you knowing. So real quick, man, I know I said that was the last one. A lot of people don't know. Another thing we share in common, we both Tampa Bay Bucks fans.
for sure.
Tampa Bay obviously is in Florida. We all the way in Kentucky. We get all of that. What turned you into being a Bucks fan?
Man, really, I didn't really have a team at an early age.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I kind of watched football, but I wasn't really into football like that. I was really into basketball.
Right.
And most of my family are Pittsburgh Steelers fans.
Mm-hmm.
And so, the Steelers, I remember one year they was playing the Cowboys. It was a big game. And I was like, I want the Cowboys to win. I would never say it again in my life.
You got it on
But
tape though.
I know I did. I
Okay,
did say
you
that
say, okay.
because I didn't want. I was
got
tired
you.
of hearing they lip about these Steelers, but I could say kind of early '90s. The Bucks ended up getting Tony Dungy. Warren Sapp got drafted there. Derek Brooks got drafted there.
They still had Hardy Nicholson. He was
Yeah,
there,
and I was like, let me keep an eye with this team. I started paying close attention to them. I like the colors. You know, they had kind of recently had just went away from that creamsicle, and I like their uniforms, and I just like that dog that they had in them. And I was like, so it's been my team ever since, and I am ride or die hard. It don't matter if we win 2 games that season,
which has happened.
Which has happened a few times. It's happened a few times. I ride or die from watching them win 2 Super Bowls. The first Super Bowl that they won, I sat in a house with me and nothing but Raiders fans. And I let them have it the whole night.
48-21.
The whole night.
That score is embedded in my head.
Oh, yeah, man. And I had a good time. Sitting back, drinking, just watching my boys go to work. And then this last Super Bowl, it meant a whole lot to me. Just because, you know, we waited a long time.
And because of who we beat. Pat Mahomes.
So, you know, it meant a whole lot to me, man. Just to go through to beat Drew Brees, and then to beat Aaron Rodgers, and then to beat Patrick Mahomes, like
the cherry on top, bro.
Yeah, man, it just felt real good to be a Bucks fan.
It did. It did.
Last year we took a L.
It was still a good season, though.
Yeah, we had a great season.
Yeah, it's still a good season.
But we took an L when we were close. You know, we was this close to getting that game.
Them damn Rams. That damn blitz coverage.
We had some injuries though that kind of hurt us towards the end, losing Godwin.
But we came back in the Rams game, bro. We fought all the way back and got back in the game, and then
I already know.
Yeah, that
but
damn Cooper Kupp.
losing Godwin that kind of hurt us. Losing Tristan Wirfs killed us.
Hell yeah.
And
secondary was banged up in and out. Carlton Davis was in and out. And
then AB doing his craziness and all that.
This guy, AB, which I'm glad we done with that.
But we back this year.
We back this year, baby.
Yeah.
We back this year.
Hot dog, that's for you, baby. We back this year.
Hot dog know what it is.
We back.
He know what it is. But anyway, so I want to try something new for Conversations with Q. We're going to do Questions with Q. And for the Questions with Q segment, I have 5 index cards laid out in front of you, face down. Now, what you have to do is you have to call out a number, pick that card over, and read what's on that card and answer the question. Now, you have to do 3 out of 5. Out of those 3 questions, if you don't answer any of those questions, because this is also a sports show, you have to change your profile pic to the NFL team that you hate the most with the caption, "This is the greatest NFL franchise ever," and you have to do it for 24 hours.
I don't know which team I hate the most.
You better find one. You better find one.
Look. It's between the Bengals, the Cowboys, Falcons, Saints, and Panthers.
I would say Cowboys. The only reason why I say Cowboys is because they the loudest damn fan base.
I don't know, man.
Have you not seen Anthony Walker's post?
I know, but I think I might hate the Bengals more.
I don't know if I hate the Bengals.
I do.
Well, you know what?
I do because I know a whole lot of Bengals
what I was getting ready to
fans,
say.
and they get on my last nerve.
They came out the woodworks last year.
They get on my last nerve. There's one Bengals fan that I don't even know him personally, and he gets on my last nerves.
You talking about Adam Kent?
Adam Kent. He gets on my last nerves, and I don't even know him.
I don't know him.
Like we're not even friends on Facebook or anything. But this guy gets under my skin about these Bengals.
Hey, boy, I tell you what. Shout out to Adam Kent. He's a huge supporter of the show. But every Bengals playoff win, he was on your
Not
ass,
just
boy.
him.
Willie Mays was on you.
Vance
came out of nowhere. Every playoff win. Where's Ike at? They was tagging you and everything. Where's Ike at? Where's Ike at?
Willie was. He was video calling me.
Oh my God. So yeah, no, I get where you're coming from with the Bengals thing. But anyways, let's start this Questions with Q. Go ahead and call out your first number.
I'm gonna go with 2.
2. Go ahead, grab it, flip it over. Let's see what we got.
What's it say there? What's the most embarrassing thing your parent or parents have caught you doing?
My daddy walked in on me while I was getting rode by a chick when I was like 6. I was like 16 years old.
What was your face when your pops walked in? Was you just like,
He walked. I heard the door open. I thought it was my mama, boy. So I kind of was scared at first. And when he opened the door and I looked and seen it was him, and he said, "Oh shit, my bad." And he turned around and walked off. So I told her, "Keep doing what
it.
you're
Keep
doing.
riding, girl. Don't even worry about that shit. Keep riding, girl." So that's enough. Pick another number. Let's see what else we got.
Cause I ain't really did nothing that I feel that's too embarrassing.
Yeah.
Not that my parents caught me doing.
I think we've all probably experienced something similar to what you just explained.
Now, I walked in on my parents one time and it
Scarred you for life.
Ah,
Scarred you for life.
man, listen,
Look, he still looks.
man.
He's still thinking of, nah, bro. Let's see what else number we got. Number 2. Let's see the second question. What we got?
I'm gonna go 5.
We're gonna go with 5. Who was your worst kiss ever?
My worst kiss?
Mm-hmm. So the key word is who. So we name dropping.
Who was my worst kiss
Worst
ever?
kiss ever. Mm-hmm.
That's tough.
Yeah, boy.
I really don't know if I ever had a bad one.
You know, if you don't answer this, you know what's
I
coming,
know.
right?
I'm just gonna give a name.
Whoever's name you give, I'm gonna tag her. Go ahead, think about
Worst kiss ever.
it. Uh-huh. Let's see. Let's see. You got about 15 more seconds. Yeah, buddy. Go ahead. Call somebody's name, please. Go ahead and call her name so I can tag her in this.
I'm gonna say just cause. I mean, shit. I don't know. But I'm gonna say
Mm-hmm.
just cause she get on my nerves. I'm gonna
4,
say
3.
Sarika.
Sarika.
My son's mother.
His son's mother was the worst kiss ever. There it is, man.
I don't know, man.
Last question. What we got? Pick a number.
4.
Number 4. What we got? What's that? What do you fear the most?
What do I fear the most?
Yeah, what do you fear the most? Yeah, boy.
Oh, this is easy.
What you got?
Oh, this is easy.
What you got?
I done made many posts about this.
What you got?
To wake up one morning dark skinned. Team light skinned, bitch.
Team light skin in this motherfucker. Shit. Waking up
That's
dark
my
skin is a
biggest fear.
I am
My
scared to death
biggest
myself.
fear is to wake up dark skinned.
Lord, I wouldn't know what to do if I woke up dark skinned, man. You want to see the question that you
Man.
did? Let's see what number 3 said. What's the worst date you've ever been on?
The worst date I've ever been on.
You ain't got to answer these, but if you
Nah,
want to.
I'm trying to think. Let me
Okay.
think. Worst date I've ever been on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Damn.
I'm trying to think. I don't know.
Damn, you've had all great dates before?
I ain't really do all the dating stuff.
You didn't do the whole going out to movies and out to eat.
And if I was in a relationship,
yeah, but majority of the time it was, you know why I'm here.
yeah.
Yeah. You ain't got to answer that, so you.
No, I'm trying to think.
Oh, okay. No walking out on the dates. No, you sitting in there and she boring as hell. No, she's in there and her breath stink. Or maybe her cookie cat stink.
nah.
You can smell that.
Yeah, I got one. Was out to eat. I told you I don't like that arguing stuff. The arguing started happening. I'm like, man, I ain't trying to go through this today. We was actually, I can't even really say it was a date because it was a lot of family, like not my family, it was a lot of her family sitting around. And it's like, I'm not going through this arguing stuff, and she just started like talking crazy, saying the most hateful shit she could say to me. Man, I got so mad, I just jumped up and knocked everything off.
Damn.
And was like, and I remember jumping up, and I was like, who the fuck do you think you talking to like that? And I just walked out.
Damn.
That was
Damn.
Yeah.
The fact that she was doing that in front of family. But go ahead, though. Let's see what we got. What's that say right there?
The craziest thing you've done while you were drunk.
I know you got a drunk story. I know you got a drunk story. What's the craziest thing you've ever done while you were drunk?
Threw the hair clippers to my partner and said, shave my eyebrows off.
Hey, and there it is, bro. There it is. Questions with Q. Man, Ike, I appreciate you sitting down, give me some of your
Thanks, my
time
brother.
today. I hope we was able to, dive deep and talk about a lot of different topics. I hope some of the topics we was able to help somebody else. But anyways, before we get out of here, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, KY Beyond the Game. Also, make sure you download the Beyond the Game app on your Amazon Fire Stick. If you can't sit down and watch a show, make sure you listen to us on all major podcast streaming platforms and subscribe to that as well. What's up?
Before we go, I got one more thing.
What's happening?
Because we was talking about me being biracial and
Right.
growing up out east. Man, look, shout outs to my brothers.
Yeah, give them out. Give them out.
Now look, shout outs to my brother, Carlton Kendrick and John Boda. They gave me the nickname back in middle school, Honk Nig.
Hump Nig.
I was the honky nigga, boy. They called me
Honk
Honk
Nig.
Nig growing up, bruh. Hey, and we used to cry off of it, man. But that's my guys, man.
Ain't that Hump Nig?
And quit calling biracial people mixed.
Y'all don't like that?
Nah.
Is it like a...
I mean, it don't bother me like
Yeah,
it
yeah.
bothers a lot of people, but it does bother people. It bothers a lot of biracial people.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's like, again, we helping out people.
Yeah.
Stop calling biracial people mixed. But speaking of mixed, my mama told me a story when I was younger. She said that I was so light skinned. She said I used to think I was white. She used to think I was white because I was so light skinned. My daughter's the same way. She asked me when she was a little girl, "Am I white, daddy?" I was like, "Nah, you black girl. You just your daddy passed it on to you. We say ain't got no color in our skin. It is what it is." But anyways, we get on up out of here. Special guest Ike Barron, co-host of Spoken Minds here on Conversations with Q, a show about life, love, sports, and everything in between. We getting ready to get on up out of here, and as always, we want you to treat somebody how you want somebody to treat your mama. We out this thing, y'all. Peace.